The Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA's heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.
Hey, welcome back to Big Little Lessons. I'm here with my longtime teaching partner, Kristine.
Hi, Jenny.
Hello, Kristine. Together, the two of us have combined 50 plus years of elementary teaching, most of them done in kindergarten.
Wow, we're old.
We're classic. So, Kristine, are you ready for today?
I am. So we love to share insights from the kindergarten classroom that apply to families and parenting and life, and that's what we're doing here, right?
I know. So many of the lessons that we have taught or learned from our students are things that we learned at 5 and continue to learn from 5-year-olds.
And it's so fun to reflect back to when we were little, and hopefully listeners, that's what you're doing, thinking about when you were little and how those little lessons keep showing up for you.
Over and over again. And today we're going to be kicking off. We're going to be talking about summer.
It seems early, but it really is the right time to start thinking about your summer season, right?
Yes.
And it's a season that we wait for all year. As a teacher, you wait for it. And as a child, you wait for it. I don't know if parents wait for it because it's a time where, what's in front of you is you have to structure in some way that time.
It reminds me, Kristine, that when my oldest Lindsay finished kindergarten and my youngest was 2, so I had a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, 3 and 6, and I counted how many days of summer, and it was 92. So the last day of school from preschool and kindergarten, I thought, I have 92 days of summer ahead of me. What am I going to do?
I think most parents think that. I thought, curiously, when I was before I became a teacher, I remember thinking, what do I want to do and how do I want my life to look? Mm-hmm. And one of the things, I always knew I wanted children. So I thought, if I'm a teacher, I'll have the summer off and I could spend my summer with my children.
Yes.
So that's, there's lots of different ways to look at it.
Yes, there are. And that's the key too, is every family is completely unique. So today we're going to give lots of ideas and suggestions, but ultimately it's your family and you get to design it.
Let's start, Jenny, with how summer feels.
Well, the summer feels glorious. It feels like endless, long summer days. Like there's a good feeling.
It smells good too.
Yeah.
Like sunscreen. Love that smell.
Do you remember that last day of school growing up?
So vividly. And on the East Coast where I went to school, it was around June 26th. So it's quite late. Here in California, it's
early June.
It's early June. And I remember just so excited that, it was in front of me. And this was going to be the best 3 months or 2.5 months of my year. You're
getting rid of the paperwork and the tattered notebooks and the broken pencils. And it was bittersweet because you're sad to not see your classmates every day or say goodbye to some of your favorite teachers. Right. But I do remember that sense of freedom and possibility.
I love that possibility.
Yeah. So there's some questions that we want to present to our listeners. And that is, these are questions that we get every year as teachers.
From parents. So is it a good idea to sign up for camps, and what camps should my kids go to? Mm-hmm. What about academics? Like what should my kid be doing over the summer?
Yes.
What kind of academics?
Yeah.
And also what kind of structure? Like how much should we be structuring for our children?
It's trying to find the balance. And of course, it's not perfectly done. But again, having some sort of skeletal plan, but within it having some free time as well.
Like we talk a lot, Jenny and I have been talking a lot about intentional parenting, and really what that means is making a plan. It makes me think also about the way that we teach. Like everything that we do has a purpose, has a reason. You might come into our classrooms and the kids will be playing with Play-Doh. And why are they playing with Play-Doh? Well, It builds their creativity. It builds their fine motor skills. It builds cooperation between them. So, with reason, everything has a reason.
Yes.
Right. And also freedom has a reason.
Yes. Even the word bored has a reason.
Well, let's get into that.
Okay.
For
All
sure.
right. All right. So let's look at our first segment, which is start with a summer vision. We are in the month of March right now, but it's not too soon to start thinking of summer. So you may want to open up, depending on what kind of calendaring system you use, whether it's on your phone or your iPad or a paper calendar, which Kristine, you and I love.
Yes.
It's opening up the calendar to say, what are our summer weeks and
yeah. And how do we want summer to feel, right? I've always been so impressed with those families who have that giant, multiple children, a giant calendar, and everything is highlighted different colors for different kids. Yes. And I'm like, you are the CEO of your house.
Yes.
And like you are crushing it.
Yeah. My cousin, Katie, she has 3 kids, and they were, especially the one year when there was one in elementary, one in middle school, and one in high school. Katie works full time, so does her husband, and they pull out their calendars and they're like, okay, when are we going to be doing our annual family trip back to Michigan? When are we going to have what summer camps for each of the kids? When are we going to have some just our immediate family together? And I was so impressed with that. Yeah. But they're both working; they have to have a plan.
Yeah, and that's the case for most, many of us.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what do we want it to feel like? I think the idea of slowing down
is glorious.
Is essential and glorious. Being outside more, taking walks. Yeah. Jenny and I love to talk about connection.
Yes.
And being connected to your family in a different way than you are, because maybe there's not as much stress for your child.
And hopefully it is. It's not the rigors of the day-to-day up and at 'em, we're going to school. It's a different kind of up, maybe take a nap or leisurely wake up time and being with your family, connecting.
And then, if you have community or neighborhood, like getting outside to play with the kids on the street. I mean, that's how we all grew up. And I know it's different now, but I think it can be figured out to some extent.
Yeah. Trying new things. I remember it was really important for David and me to have our girls learn how to ride a bike. And so summertime's a great time. We'd go and the girls, we'd wear long sleeve and long pants, and we'd go to a big park and practice riding on dirt trails because they're going to fall. Yeah. And it was so fun. I'm like, let's learn how to ride a bike this summer. This is a good plan. So trying something new.
Something new. How did our parents structure our summers? They did.
Oh, I was in New Orleans. It was boiling hot. My mom's like, it's a beautiful day outside.
Go play.
But I lived in a neighborhood filled with kids. So all the parents are like, it's a beautiful day. Go outside. So all of us were outside.
Right.
We actually played a game where how long could we walk barefoot on the sidewalk without having to run onto the grass? I mean, things like that are kind of in my mind.
But even within that, you come home for dinner, yes. You go to people's houses for dinners, you have sleepovers. Like there's still a different routine and a different, schedule.
Yes, absolutely.
So the feeling is something so important, and we can all think back to our summers.
Yeah.
Remember how they felt.
And it's not really necessarily a schedule, but yes, you're absolutely right. There was dinner time, there was days you were going to the pool or to the beach, and days that you might just have free play all day long, and that was glorious in itself.
So Jenny, you had a great idea to start simple, like creating a bucket list.
Oh.
I love that you said that. I love this idea. So have your kids, right? Create a bucket list.
Yes.
What would be on that bucket list?
I like to look at and say, do we want to go to the beach? Let's get it penciled in. It doesn't have to be in pen. Or what's our favorite treat after dinner? Maybe once a week, we ride bikes to go get ice cream.
Right.
Bike rides are a great way, or maybe people like to skateboard or rollerblade. Having something that you can only do in the summer, backyard movie night.
Oh, yes. That's fun.
Right?
Super fun. Building, I remember when I was little, my brother and I used to love to build forts.
Oh my gosh.
Or like places where you can like cozy up inside.
Yes. You feel like you're away from everybody else, even though everyone in the house can hear you talking. And then, of course, just enjoying the long summer days and staying up a little bit later and having time to just kind of kick back and watch the sun go down.
Oh, so interesting story. When I was young, some of the listeners know that I lived in Spain, and my mom every single night in the summer would make us walk up this mountain. There was like this tower, this beautiful tower, and we had access to the tower, and we would climb up to the top of the tower and sit and watch the sunset. And when I was 11 years old, I was like, oh, brother, I got to go watch the sunset again. But it was incredible when I think back on and the sunsets were incredible, but just that connecting, that time with my mom and my brother, just the three of us sitting on that tower. Like in the moment as a child, you might not appreciate it.
Yes.
But look at me now thinking about it. You know?
That's so true. I remember my dad would come home and we'd have dinner. My mom would make us dinner, which was so nice. We had our family dinners every night. And then in the summer months, we had bikes with tandem bike seats in the back. So my sister Ann and I, we would be on the back and we'd ride and go get ice cream. And
Fun.
Who knows? Maybe we did it twice in one summer and that's why I remember it. But it was so special and it was something different. And that's one that I hold on dearly to.
So creating this bucket list, it's not about doing everything that you want. You know, like if your kids are like, I want to go to Legoland, I want to go here, I want to go here. And, you know, that's not like try to simplify it with them. Yeah, make it simple. Yeah. And looking forward to what you can do together over the summer.
And it doesn't have to cost much.
Right. So I would say your child's bucket list is going to look different than your bucket list.
Oh, I know.
But it's a great starting point.
Mm-hmm. And asking them, what would you like to do? Letting them have some input. And then you can share your ideas as well. So it'd be fun.
Yeah. And giving them that ownership, I think, is really important too. Because they're a part of your family. And
they are.
Yeah. It like not telling them, asking them.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
One thing that people always ask us is about the academics. And that's really an important time. It's easy to just put it by the wayside and say, you know what, they need a break from school, and they do. However, you can sprinkle in academics.
It's a long summer.
Yes.
And what I find, and I think we both agree on this, is that the younger children who are acquiring skills need to continue to acquire skills.
Yes.
So how do you do that without it feeling like pressure or...
I know. Of all the academics, Kristine, what do you think, if you're going to pick one thing for the summer to do, what do you recommend for families?
Oh, 100% reading.
Yes.
You know, reading to your kids.
Yes.
You know, reading to your kids and having them have time to read. You know, reading at bedtime. The library is so much fun.
The library is wonderful.
I used to take my boys to Barnes and Nobles. You know why? Because they had really good air conditioning.
Yes. They do.
And when we would go back east to New York City a lot in the summer, and you're walking in the heat and humidity, and then you walk into Barnes and Nobles and you're like, where's the reading corner? Let's go and just snuggle up there for 45 minutes.
It's a wonderful thing. And especially being here in the Southern California, it gets really hot during the day. And most of the country, let's face it, 1 in the afternoon, 2 in the afternoon is boiling hot. So it's a perfect time to visit a bookstore. I love indie bookstores too, because they create, each one is so unique, but the children's section is so wonderful. And even at home, I think it's really important for parents. It's good for you to be reading as well. So creating like maybe a little ritual, and it doesn't have to be long. It could be 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Exactly.
Everybody's got 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You think about how much you're scrolling on a phone, put the phone away and do 15 minutes of reading. That's all you have to do. And it'd be so fun.
It is. And then we are really into audiobooks also. That's super fun. When you're driving, if you're taking a road trip, to listen to stories.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
There's so many fun books out there too.
Right. It's not cheating reading. It's still reading.
That is reading. And you're doing it something together. And so you can pause and ask questions and talk about it. It makes it really come to life.
Yeah. I think also when kids are allowed to choose the books that they want to read, they're more likely to read. You know, instead of you just coming home and being like, oh, I found these books at the library, have them be a part of it.
I, as an adult, love reading picture books. I think the illustrations are so beautiful and the vocabulary is very powerful. And there's so many good ones.
They're so rich. They're magnificent.
They are.
Yeah.
And you learn a lot of good lessons throughout those stories as well.
And they can be funny. You know, it really, you can gear it towards your child's personality.
Oh my gosh. And if they really like or really say into basketball or some sport or gems, rocks, find nonfiction books that they love to read and you can explore and learn facts together. So,
oh my gosh. And you can like tie that into going to museum, a museum trip.
Nice.
Yeah. I was just thinking about museums in the summer, something that I really always, because I don't have time during the school year. I love to plan some museum trips.
Yes. And they're so wonderful and air conditioned as well.
Exactly. You have some research.
Yes. The studies show that students who read during the summer maintain their reading skills, while those who stop reading often experience what educators call the summer slide.
Yeah.
And I would recommend it's kind of like being in shape. If you consistently work out, maybe you don't even have to work out hard, but if you consistently do something, you're not going to lose everything. It's when you stop working out for 2-3 months that it's really hard to get back started.
Yeah, those reading muscles.
The reading muscles, they've been working hard. They're at their prime in May or June or whenever school ends. So just do a little bit. A little bit
goes a long way.
Yeah. Don't say, well, once a week we're going to sit down for an hour. That's not the best plan. The better plan is to say, we're going to, how about every day for 15 minutes and maybe one day a week, half an hour. And if they're really enjoying it, let it go longer. So it doesn't have to be long.
No.
Unless they are loving it, and then let them read and reread.
No, Jenny and I always say that at this age, they learn and forget. So, the forgetting over the summer it's real. It's a long summer.
Yeah.
Just, reading for sure.
Yes.
Reading
absolutely.
for sure. There's other ideas.
Yes. What other ways can we sneak in a little bit of academic?
I think games.
Oh, I love games.
Card games.
Yeah.
Board games.
When we are doing our afternoon centers, we often say, we're going to play a game. And instantly, the word game means fun. So, and they were practicing counting and strategizing and thinking. And there's so many great card games and board games that can do the same thing.
That's such a good point.
Yeah. And they build those math skills and strategy, their memory bank.
Also taking turns. Also, learning how to lose.
Yes.
A lot of 5-year-olds come to kindergarten and they really struggle with their level of competition or competitiveness, and it's hard for them to accept losing. So I think that's also an important
learning sportsmanship
skill, is to teach sportsmanship through playing games.
That is a really good point, because some kids, I know as parents, you want your kids to be happy, so you might let them win. Don't let them always win. Let them struggle in it, and then they really earn that win. Yeah. And they will. And they might beat you a lot. And then you have to learn your sportsmanship.
But it might be hard also at first. They might be sad, but that's an important part of working through it.
Yes, it is. It is. So I know my girls, they loved playing Crazy Eights, Go Fish, and Uno. What about you? What about board games?
We did a lot of, Connect Four was always a fun one. Oh, Chutes and Ladders.
Oh, yes.
Candyland when they were really little.
Yes.
I loved that one.
Yes.
I mean, even we would leave the Monopoly board out sometimes for a long time.
Did you play the real Monopoly?
I feel like there was a Beatles version, and my kids were really into the Beatles, and we had it out for, I couldn't stand it, but they...
You know what I liked was Monopoly Junior.
There you go.
Because Monopoly Junior only lasted 15 minutes. The real Monopoly, it sounds great, and I know people love Monopoly, but for me, it's just too much. And so I like Monopoly Junior. It's a good one. So that worked for me. Well, the research on playing games is that they're working to strengthen their executive functioning. Step 1, step 2, following rules. They're also developing working memory and flexible thinking, to your point of give and take, taking turns, not always winning, things don't go your way, and how can you learn more?
Yeah, there's a lot that can happen. And again, like if it's something, I was not a game lover, but I knew that there was value in playing games.
Yes.
So I provided games as an adult, I can enjoy it now a little bit once in a while, but it's not my go-to.
Yes.
But I think you can tell which children are used to playing games and have learned from playing games.
Yes.
So there's a lot of value in games.
That's wonderful. And it's an in between, like shuffling the cards. You can have quick conversations. It's another way to connect.
For sure.
Yes.
For sure.
Has the news been getting you down? I'm Megan McArdle, and I'm here to help. I'm the host of a news show from Washington Post Opinion called Reasonably Optimistic, and it's an antidote to the pessimism that's riddling America right now. Every Wednesday, I'm going to talk to people who see a path forward.
It does seem to me that there is some awakening of a desire to act together, to solve problems where they are.
I am a believer in America, and it's worth fighting for.
Join me Wednesdays on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
The sun's shining, birds are singing, and all feels right in the world.
Until the season changes, and suddenly you lose your motivation to get out of bed. In fact, 1 in 5 people experience some form of depression, no matter the season or time of year.
At the American Psychiatric Association Foundation, our vision is to build a mentally healthy nation for all, because we want you to live your best life and be your best you all year round.
Please visit mentallyhealthynation.org to learn more.
If you think about it, throughout the day, there's just natural opportunities for learning. So
yes.
It doesn't have to be like structured academics. For example, I love cooking and cooking with baking cookies, having your kids help prepare dinner. There's so much measuring and math and language and reading if they're reading recipes.
Yes.
Or there's great children's cookbooks that they can.
So many good ones
Yeah.
now. I really like it. Or you can go on the internet. There's tons of recipes. Yeah, taking your kids out on errands, going grocery shopping together. You could be counting, you can be sorting, you can put things together, you can weigh the vegetables on the balance.
They can make a list before they go.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's super fun.
Yes.
I
My
love-
girls loved when they had the little carts.
The little carts
Carts
are so
fun.
cute.
Another thing that's always good to do in the summer is writing postcards, which is such a novelty, but writing letters, getting cute cards with stickers. It's such a great way to keep that writing skill. Let's write a card to fill in the blank. And
So it has meaning.
it has meaning.
Yeah.
If your kids aren't quite writing, you could dictate and write for them, but they could add a little drawing to it, but it makes someone's day.
And then, like, if you are on a road trip, I'm thinking, you mentioned road trips, like noticing signs,
Yes.
reading signs. Like, that's what emergent readers do. They
Yes.
start to notice signs, or even like license plates.
Oh,
There's
yes.
those games.
There's those games. Well, my husband who loves maps, get maps and you can start studying the maps and where are we going?
I love maps too.
Yes, they're fun. I love keeping a summer journal, and it can be drawing pictures, doodling, writing down ideas, but I think again also modeling it. And let's write this down, because someday you will be at a much different phase in your life. Gracie was home this past weekend and she was looking through her stuff, first grade, the poetry books that I believe she was in your first grade class. And she was just cracking up at her poems. But those kinds of things it's a little time capsule.
It is a time capsule. I
A little
have
summer journal.
I have a summer diary from 1976.
Whoa.
It was a summer I spent in New York with my dad and my brother, and I collected movie tickets, theater tickets, wrappers from ice cream, and they're all in that journal.
Oh, how
And
fun.
I have to show it to you.
I want to see it.
It's precious. And then I would have people write in it. So if there was a family member visiting, I would have them write in my journal. So I have notes and letters from family members that have passed away. It's so special.
It is.
It's really
You are
cool.
definitely ahead of your time. I love a summer journal.
Yeah.
And it can be what you want it to be. It doesn't have to be this 5-paragraph essay.
No.
It can be little jots and notes, but I love like collecting things along the way and inviting others to doodle in this journal.
Like if I went to a museum, or if I went wherever I went, I would take whatever I could from that experience, a brochure
Yes.
or
A map.
ticket, a map. And I would put it in there, and it was just so,
I want to see that
yeah.
journal. That sounds lovely.
So yeah, learning, also drawing, just drawing. If that's something you enjoy, I think modeling that, like Jenny said, modeling earlier, sitting down to draw. Also, there's wonderful directed drawing
Yes.
things that you could find on the internet that, this is one time that we will say, yes, use YouTube to
Drawing for kids. We'll have to put in a link with that
It's
guy.
Art Hub. It's Art
Art Hub. Yeah, that's a fabulous one. And as someone who's not as confident with drawing, I have pretty good results with those YouTube how to draw.
Yeah, fun. And that teaches skills. So.
It does. Well, let's get realistic here. Because the bottom line is parents have busy schedules, that they're busy during the school year, and that doesn't end. They don't get summer break like kids do. And so for most families, it's a dual income. Everyone's busy with their schedules. So camps are really vital, and they can provide some really cool experiences for students.
Camps are great. You build new relationships and friendships. They provide a different kind of structure. Mm-hmm. They definitely promote independence because it's trying something new that maybe they didn't do before. There's all different kinds of camps.
Yeah, they do. And this is the time of year, if you haven't already explored it, get on it, because camps do fill up. So you want to be exploring those right now and get on the list.
We also did find some research on summer camps that shows improvements in confidence and independence and social skills. My kids didn't go to camp because I was home, but Shane did go to camp, have one summer where he went off to camp in 4th grade, and he came back a different kid. I mean, he was so confident and open, and, you know, he grew up a little bit that summer and a lot more independent.
My girls, they would go to vacation Bible school when they were little. And then as they got older, then they were one of the assistants and teacher helpers. And they did a cheerleading camp. I mean, they had a Santa Barbara Zoo camp, which was a hoot. It was so much fun. And that was just in the morning. But they got to try new things. Yeah. But the rest of the time was camp good enough. And I'd be like, now what are we going to do today?
No, I think there's definitely a lot of value in camp. And as you mentioned, you know, it's not an option. They have to go to camp.
Yes.
Right? So do some research to find camps. I work with this boy, and his mom kept putting him in camps that didn't really fit who he was, like maybe more sporty camps or more traditional camps. And I'm like, you need to find camps that match his interests. Yeah. He's a mathematician, he's a scientist, and there's camps for everybody.
Yes,
and
there are.
Once she made that choice, she was like, thank you so much. What a good suggestion. Like, he doesn't have to be going to soccer camp just because it's available, you know, and it's easy.
Soccer camp sounds like torture camp for me. Yeah. That would not work for me and for my girls as well. But for other kids, that's all they want to do all the time anyway. So it's the perfect camp for them.
Yeah.
So finding what works and asking and looking around, asking all your friends, teachers, schools, churches, temples, all that good stuff.
So camps are definitely a positive.
Yes.
Sure.
3 cheers for camps. Yay. But the important thing is, through all these ideas, is to protect unstructured time, which is...
I love that you're saying protect.
Protect it. Yeah. Schedule it. Even put in there nothing. You know, just saying, this is a day that we're going to be hanging at home. Oh, my girls love that. They'd be like, we don't have to be up and at 'em today. We can just be.
Stay in our pajamas,
just hanging out, playing with their toys, just hanging.
Yeah, I think that's so important because children are so used to schedule. And if my kid said, I'm bored, I'm saying, well, if you're bored, you must be boring. I was hardcore at my house. If you're bored, you're boring, because that's where you learn to figure out how to not be bored.
Yes.
You know, it's a state of mind. Boredom.
It is a state of mind. And really could be a sign of dysregulation if they're like, because they're so used to going. And you need to have time to just say, I'm really content actually not have anything planned today. That's a big skill. And adults need it as well, because we're so programmed to go a million miles an hour.
Yeah. I mean, I should take my own advice.
I know. Well, but the American Academy of Pediatrics, they highlight that having time for free play supports creativity, design making, and emotional development. And there is a family that is in my neighborhood. I've taught both the boys, and their mom started when they were young having, I forget the title. It's such a good title too. It's something like, play in your room by yourself time. Yeah. I don't know. She's got a much better term for it. But she started small, like 5 or 10 minutes. You could take a nap. You could play with your toys. You could read a book. But it was time by themselves. And it gave her a little space, and it gave the kids time too. And then she was able to work it up till an hour. And it was like quiet time in the afternoon. And it was just time for everyone to reset. And her boys loved it, and so did she. And it gave everyone a little reset. So
Yeah. So being bored is a good thing. We're promoting boredom.
yes. Yeah. And speaking of being, unstructured playtime usually involves being outside.
Hopefully, yes. Yes. I mean, we're lucky we live in the weather providing that it's not too hot. So getting outside, outdoors, just playing in the backyard, playing in sprinklers, building things, exploring.
Try out new parks.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of free parks that are available, beautiful areas, just being outside. Go to wherever your parks are, or lakes or rivers or oceans, and enjoy that outside time.
Yeah, it really promotes overall your well-being, your attention, your mood, your focus, being outside. You don't even realize it necessarily until it's happening, and then you feel good.
I do sometimes when I've been at home too long or inside too long. I just go outside for a 10-minute walk. You feel better. Yeah. You're like, fresh air. So plan some picnics or some beach days, bike rides, nature walks. It's out there.
Yeah, or just taking a walk after dinner.
So when you're planning out your summer, it's fun as a family to set up some summer traditions, things that you don't normally do, and create. And every summer we do fill in the blank. I think it's fun to kind of say every summer this is what we do.
Yeah, like we have a projector that we take outside.
Fun.
And, we also have a fire pit. We make s'mores. Like, we definitely don't do that in the winter.
Yeah. I know my husband loves to make pancakes. So most weekends, he's like, I'm making my famous pancakes, and they're so good. They're delicious.
Yum.
Or, there might be times that you're going to visit friends. Like, you can't do it during the school year. There's just too much going on. But we belong to a club that has Wednesday nights, has a special dinner, and everybody goes out there, and there's people playing volleyball, and it's social, and it's really fun. So and it's only in the summer. So Wednesday nights we're going to the club to have a fun Wednesday night dinner.
Well, and kids just love that because it makes them feel freer.
Yes.
They have more freedom, and that's so important because their lives are so filled up during the school years.
Yeah.
And also the traditions, we've spoken before about the importance of traditions in your own family and the connection that it forms with the relationships.
They do. I mean, as you're talking, it reminds me of, for many, many years, we were very involved with a church, and they had a week-long family camp. And it was about a 6-hour drive from Los Angeles, and we would be there. And it was such a magical time. I mean, the camp itself it just invited everyone to be relaxed. The meals were prepared for. We had really meaningful conversations. We had fun with a dance party and a talent show, and everybody was invited and included. They did a swim party where we had like these summer Olympics. It was just so much fun. And it was part of our summer family tradition, like, we're going to family camp.
Love that.
And we made some lifelong friends, and every summer we would be together at this fabulous family camp.
That's so special. But it also doesn't have to be anything, really,
No,
because
doesn't.
I remember when I was younger and we would visit my grandmother like a week out of the summer, and we would stay with her and talk about boring. My grandmother, who probably wasn't that old at the time, but seemed much older to me, and I felt like the old Italian ladies were sitting on the bench outside, and the kids were just playing. And I don't even know what we were doing, but I remember that feeling of freedom. You just still felt free, even though you were being watched. It was still, but it was, we didn't do anything. But those are memories that I have from an unstructured time of my life.
You don't realize how structured we are during the school year. Right. It's like school starts at this time, and then we have this schedule. And so having that unstructured playtime is priceless for all of us.
Yeah. So it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It can be so simple.
Yeah, those sometimes are the best. Yeah. The impromptu get-togethers with people, and just
I love summer.
I know, and it's coming.
I can't
It's
wait.
happening.
And even for us, I mean, I think about, I'm a very type A personality.
No.
And
You're kidding me.
very funny. So I have this calendar, and I actually have a lot of anxiety transitioning from the school year to the summer. So I have to work on that. Like I have to work on, okay, well, I'm writing in, like
Oh
you
my
said,
gosh.
today I'm going to the beach.
Yes.
Today I'm going to the beach.
I have done that.
Yeah.
As part of my spiritual direction program, we have to have one day a month that we call a quiet day. Yeah. And it is so glorious to mark down like on such a date, I'm having a quiet day. And it's just a time it's like a Sabbath of sorts. It's time to just reflect and get everything away from you and regroup. And it's magical.
It's wonderful. But again, like structuring the summer for some people is...
Yeah, you need to have a little bit of a plan.
little bit of a plan, because for me to not have that just doesn't work for me. So.
I mean, when I remember that it was 92 days of summer in the summer of 2001, I was panicked, but then it all came together and it was fabulous.
It's great.
Well, let's do a little fun speed round,
let's
we?
do it.
So we'll ask some questions and we can just answer what kind of comes off the top of our head. So I'll start with you, Kristine. What was your favorite childhood summer activity?
Anytime I was near water, definitely the beach.
Oh, okay.
I loved going to the beach with my family. What about you?
For me, it was going to a pool and just swimming all day. And I don't even know what we did in the pool. To talk about unstructured, I think we threw pennies down and we dived down to go pick up the pennies. But it was so simple and it was so fun.
So great. What about favorite summer treat?
And I would go get barbecue potato chips and a Coke. Nice, healthy meal. How about you?
Well, probably ice cream mostly. But when we would go to the beach, my dad would take us to this Italian deli in New York, and they would make these massive, cold cut, also totally unhealthy sandwiches that we would take and eat on the beach. And that was summer for us.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Really nice.
Okay, so I think I know your answer. Are you a beach or mountain person?
100% beach. What about you?
I can't decide. I guess I would lean more towards beach because I love being around water in the summertime. The mountains can be kind of hot. So,
what's the best simple summer activity for kids? What would you say?
I'm going to say a stack of books and pencils and papers, just something simple.
What you have in your house.
What do you have in your house?
Yeah.
Yes.
Building, creating, definitely, building a fort, something simple, something fun and simple that's there that they have to figure out, that you're not figuring out for them.
That's key. They have to figure out, not you. Even better. Do you have a favorite summer family tradition?
I always think of food, because food, I would definitely say, barbecues. And the desserts that you can have in the summer and make. I love that.
Yes, it's so fun.
What about you?
Favorite, it's usually evolved around some sort of gathering of food. So, just having a nice meal together, whether it's a lunch or a dinner, it's just fun to get together.
It is fun. Sunrise or sunset?
Well, being a morning bird, I'm going to say sunrise. How about you?
I have to say both.
Yeah,
I love both.
Yeah, why do we have to choose?
I can't choose on that
Okay,
one.
let's not choose. Okay, we like both. What's one thing families should do less of in the summer?
Well, obviously, you guys know what we're going to say.
Yeah.
Screens.
Screens. Get off the screens. Yes, I would say.
Boo screens.
I mean, we say the movie night. If you do a movie night, it's one night without screens during the day.
But also, TV screens we
Yes.
know are different than phone screens and iPad screens.
Yes.
It doesn't do the same thing to your brain.
Yes.
So we don't need to lecture on that. We're just definitely less screen time all the way.
Yeah. And then one thing kids need more of, I would say you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need their family and that and not being distracted by all the other things of the world. So summertime's a great time to just build a fort together, hang out, read a book.
Connection.
Yeah. So we like to provide a little optional homework. So before the summer gets busy and before you know it, we'll be thinking about the fall. Wow. We like to offer a little optional homework.
So as we're approaching, just pick 3 things that you hope to do together this summer with your family.
3 sounds right? There's 3 months of summer, 1 thing per month. That's doable.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
You might be surprised by the answers that your kids provide. So ask them what they would like to do.
Simple things.
Yes. So we always like to add a little bit about our big little lesson. And for me, my big little lesson is that summer doesn't need to be perfectly planned to be meaningful. It's the little things that can make it the best.
That is so true. So a little planning goes a long way.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. And hopefully we gave you some ideas. I would say my big little lesson is children remember the feelings, how summer felt. Like we have those memories now together today. They don't remember what they had to do day to day. They remember the feeling of what it felt like.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's a beautiful thing.
So we recommend plan a little.
So and leave space for the unexpected, right?
Yeah, that's where there's the good stuff. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow Big Little Lessons wherever you listen to podcasts.
And you can also find us on Instagram at Teach Big Little Lessons, where we also will provide some resources, ideas, and some behind-the-scenes moments from the classroom and life.
Thank you for spending time with us today.
And as always, remember...
And we might not have all the answers,
but we have a lot of experience.
And big little lessons are
everywhere. Until next time.
The Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA's heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.